Hi everyone. I welcome you all to the theme 2 of Indian mapping series. Now, I would like to tell you that in this series of videos, we are going to cover entire Indian mapping in most comprehensive yet exam oriented way. We are going to take entire Indian mapping in theme based manner. For example, theme 1 that we have already covered was of India's extreme points. By the way, if you have not seen that particular video, I will put the link of that video here in the I button. You can watch that. Now we have come to theme 2, and the second theme is with respect to India's mountain ranges and hill ranges. Now, the mountain ranges and hill ranges, we are going to divide it in three parts. In part 1, we are going to cover mountain ranges and hill ranges of peninsular India. In part 2, we are going to cover mountain ranges of northeast, and in the part 3, we are going to cover the Himalayan mountains. Now, first of all, the reason that why I have divided it in three parts is because of the fact that I already told you that we want to ensure that they happen to be most comprehensive, and putting all that in one video might make it undigestible. So, therefore, we have divided it in three parts. So, today is the part 1 of theme 2, that is mountain ranges of peninsular India. Next video will be on northeast mountains, and the third video will be on Himalayas. And after that, we will pick the next theme. And uh, just to give you an idea, rivers, waterfalls, ports, okay, gulf, bay, all these things we are going to cover in these particular videos. Now, before starting this video, I would like to give you some basic idea, if in case you don't know about the Indian peninsula or what is the peninsular India. So see this particular thing, guys, that you might already be knowing that earlier India was the part of Gondwana land. Okay. Now Indian plate got separated from the Gondwana land, and it started drifting towards the Eurasian plate. And you see that today's present India was formed by the collision of Indian plate and Eurasian plate. And as this particular collision happened, we find that the Himalayas were also formed, which is the young fold mountains. However, as rivers have come down from the Himalayas, what did they have done? They have deposited their sediments, and here we find the Great Plains. Great Plains. And this particular region, that is the green one, this happens to be the peninsular India. So, in a way, you can say that the Indian plate, okay, this region is the entire peninsular India. Okay, so this is a brief idea about the peninsular India. Now, let's get started with our coverage. Now, first of all, guys, even peninsular India's mountains are so many, so I have made a kind of a classification or a division here also. Let me explain you about that. First, we are going to cover the hill ranges of western India. Okay, then we are going to cover the hill ranges of central India, and then I will go to the south India, then I will go to the south India. Now understand this particular thing, that I am just not going to discuss the north to south or east to west, but also important hill ranges. I am going to tell you the features, for example, which river or which national park, wildlife sanctuary, or if some other cultural importance is there. I am going to discuss all that thing. And also, if you want, you can download this particular notes from our Telegram channel. Link for Telegram is given in the description box in YouTube. Okay, and let me give you an idea of the notes also. So in notes on first page, you will find this map where the mountain ranges are organized in north to south, east to west manner, and then below you will have the notes also. Okay, so let's get started. Now, first, I'm going to start with the west, and here we have Aravali Ranges. Now, when we talk about the Aravali Ranges, they run from Gujarat Palanpur up till Delhi. And if you are a UPSC aspirant living in old Rajendra Nagar, so Aravali Ranges come right till the old new Rajendra Nagar. Okay. Now, when we talk about Aravalis, these hill ranges are also called as Mewat Hills. They are called as Mewat Hills as well as Nag Pahad locally. And the highest peak of Aravali is Guru Shikhar. It is Guru Shikhar, which is in Mount Abu. And some of the important rivers also originate from Aravali. That is Luni River, Banas River, Sakhi River, and Sabarmati River. These are very important rivers that originate from Aravali. Now, the second one. After Aravali, we will go little bit to the south, and here we have Mandav Hills in Gujarat. Now, what is the importance of Mandav Hills? River Bhadar originates from the Mandav Hills. And then, little bit south from the Mandav Hills, we have the Barda Hills. Barda Hills. Now, Barda Hills are also important. Why? Because they are located in Porbandar. Porbandar happens to be the birthplace of Gandhiji. And also, here the Barda Wildlife Sanctuary is also located on these hills. So, therefore, this is the importance and the location of Barda Hills. Now, after that, if we go little bit more south, if we go little bit more south, then here we have the Gir Range and the Girnar Hills. First of all, I would like to clarify a confusion that is there often, that Gir Range and the Girnar Hills, they are different. Girnar Hill is located separately from the Gir Range. Now, they are the abode, they are the place or natural habitat of Asiatic lion. And Gorakhnath happens to be the highest peak. And also, this place is very important for the Jaina pilgrimage. Okay, so just to give you an idea, we have first we have Aravali, then from Aravali we'll go to Mandav Hills, from Mandav Hills we'll go to Barda Hills, and from Barda Hills we'll go to the Gir Range. Then, guys, there are also one more very important mountain range in Gujarat that I would like to tell you about here. If you see, we have the Shatrunjay Hills. We have the Shatrunjay Hills here. Okay. Now, when we talk about Shatrunjay Hills, they are on the Shatrunjay River, and they are also very important because the first Jaina Tirthankar, that is Rishabdev, gave his first sermon on the Shatrunjay Hill, and because of that, this is a very important place, and many temples are also located on the Shatrunjay Hills. So, this is all about the important hill ranges: Aravali, Mandav, Barda, Gir, and Shatrunjay we have covered. Now, let's go to the central India. Now, first, let me give you a brief overview of the major hill ranges that we have here in the central India. So, when we talk about here, you have Vindhyas. Then south of Vindhyas, we have Satpura. Then south of Satpura, here we have Satmala and Ajanta. Satmala and Ajanta. Then here, if you go towards the eastern side, we have Camur. Then we have below Camur, Mekal Range. Then further east, we have here Sonpur. Okay, and little bit on the further east, we have Raj Mahal Hills. We have Raj Mahal Hills. Then also there are some important ones, that is the Garjat Hills, Badam Pahad. Okay, so Garjat Hills is towards the west and Badam Pahad is towards the eastern side. Okay, then there are some other minor ranges such as the Nirmal Range, Harishchandra Range, Balaghat Range. Okay, so this is the important ranges that we have in central India. You got an idea. However, out of them, few are important ones, and we are going to discuss in lot more detail about that. And first, we are going to start with Vindhyas, which are the northernmost. Vindhyas, which are the northernmost. Now, when we talk about the Vindhya range, first of all, Vindhya range, it has been mentioned in mythology also. Earlier, you in mythology you might have heard about the Aryavrat. So southern boundary of the Aryavrat, they were marked by the Vindhyan ranges. Okay. Also, as we talk about the geographical division of India, we see that Vindhyan range, they separate North India from the Deccan region. Also, they act as a water divide between Ganga river system of north and the peninsular rivers of the south. Ganga river system of the north and the peninsular rivers of the south. Further, this particular Vindhyan range, it also is birthplace of many important rivers such as Chambal, Betwa, Ken, Kali, Sindh, Dhasan, Parvati, and the southern slopes of the Vindhyan range. they are drained by two very important rivers of the central India, that is the Narmada River and the Son River. Now, one thing I would like to make very clear that Narmada and Son, they are not originated in Vindhyas, they are originated in Makal Hills, Makal Range. I will discuss it separately, but they go through the southern slope. Okay. Also, just to give you a little bit of an idea, understand this particular thing. Let's see, just keep it in your mind because sometimes these things are asked in UPSC. When we talk about the north to south orientation, first we have Vindhyas. First we have Vindhyas. Then after the Vindhya we have Narmada. Narmada River. We have Narmada River. Then after the Narmada, that is in the south, we then the south we have Satpura range, and then further after the south we have the Tapti River. We have Tapti, or you can call it as a Tapi River. So this is the north to south orientation. Please keep it in your mind. Again, I'll repeat. We have Vindhya, then we have Narmada, then we have Satpura, and then we have Tapi. Okay. Now, moving on to the next range. Okay. Also, one more thing I would like to tell you guys is that this mountains are of sedimentary in nature, and they happen to be one of the thickest sedimentary deposition in the world. Thickest sedimentary deposition in the world. Okay, now moving to the next mountain range, just after the Vindhyas. Next we are going to cover is the Camur. After the Vindhyas we are going to cover the Camur. They are towards the eastern side. Okay, now when we talk about the Camur, they are often called as the eastern extension of the Vindhya Ranges, and they also host some very important protected areas. For example, there is the Camur Wildlife Sanctuary, and there is also the Chandraprabha Wildlife Sanctuary that is located on the Camur Hills. And because of the geographical gradient, huge geographical gradient that is found in these particular ranges, many important waterfalls also are located on these particular ranges. There is the Tons Fall, it is on the Tons River. Then there is the Chachai waterfall, and the Chachai waterfall is on the Bihad River. It is on Bihad River. There is the Oda Fall. Oda Fall is on the Oda River. And also, Camur, they are very important for the prehistoric rock paintings that are found here. And these prehistoric rock paintings, they can be they are very much similar with the Bhimbetka caves that are there, similar to them. And also they are often been compared with the Spain's Altamira and France's Lusosque caves. So in Spain's Altamira is there, and in France Lusosque caves are there. So the paintings which have been found there, they can be compared with them. And what is the nature of these particular paintings here? In these paintings, humans have been depicted doing the daily activities, their daily chores. Okay, so this is about the Camur range. Then after the Camur, next we are going little bit south of the Vindhyas, and in the south of the Vindhyas we have the Satpura range. Satpura range, and just for the revision, between the Vindhyas and Satpura, which important river flows? You have to tell in the comment box which river flows here. I have already told you. Satpura range. Now, when we talk about the Satpura range, so Satpura range, it runs parallel to the Vindhyas. It runs parallel to the Vindhyas. Already we have seen it. Also, these what is the nature of these particular mountains? They are the block mountains and have formed due to the faulting of rift valley of Narmada and Tapi. Now, when we talk about Satpura range, they are divided in three parts. That is Rajpipla Hills, Mahadev Hills, and Mekal Hills. Rajpipla, Mahadev, and Mekal. And also, if I give you the little bit idea about the Rajpipla Hills, okay, so just I can draw here so that you can understand. Okay, so we have Satpura, and here little bit here I will use the blue color pen. So little bit here we have the Rajpipla Hills. Okay, now when we talk about the Satpura, the highest peak of Satpura is the Dhupgarh. Find it has the height of 1350 meters. Okay, then the next range is the Makal range. The next range is the Makal range. Now, when we talk about the Mekal range, so Mekal range, again, they are very important. Why? Because many important rivers they originate in Mekal range, and also the highest peak of Mekal range, that is Amarkantak. Now, you might have already heard about Amarkantak, which depicts the radial drainage pattern. Now, what is radial drainage pattern? So, radial drainage pattern is depicted on such peaks where the rivers originate and they just go in the different directions. So, many important rivers such as Narmada, Son, Mahanadi, they originate from Amarkantak, and Amarkantak is the highest peak where it is in the Mekal range. And also, Kana National Park. Kana National Park is located in the Mekal range. Often, Kana National Park, Pench National Park, they are in the news also. Okay, so this is about the Mekal range. Now, after this, guys, we have some other important ranges that we have here, and here we have Raj Mahal, that happens to be one of the important one here. Now, guys, when we talk about the Raj Mahal Hills, so there is one very important and distinct feature of the Raj Mahal Hills. Now, you might be knowing about the lava formations in the Deccan, and Raj Mahal Hills are extension of these lava formations. They are the extension of these lava formation. And also, Raj Mahal Hills are very important for one more feature. These are the places, this is the place where Ganga river changes its course. Now, you know this thing already, that Ganga first it flows towards the direction of east, and then suddenly it takes a southward turn. So this southward turn is taken in Raj Mahal Hills. And also, it contains some of the very old plant fossils ranging from 68 to 145 million years old fossils have also been found. So therefore, it also happens to be an important archaeological site also. Then, moving on, after this, there are the other two important ranges that we have here, that is the Satmala range and Ajanta range. Now, both Satmala and Ajanta, they are in the south of the Satpura range. So first we have Vindhyas, then we have Satpura, and on that, on the south of that, we have Satmala and Ajanta. So let's discuss one by one them. So first of all, Satmala. So literally, Satmala means the garland of seven hills, and these particular ranges they lie on the border of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, and they are called as they are called as the jewel of Nasik. And because of the heighted locations, many of the forts are also found in these Satmala ranges. And in terms of the rock composition, they are characterized largely by the metamorphic rocks. And then, if you again recall, just on the eastern side of Satmala, we have Ajanta, and these Ajanta ranges they are world renowned because of the 29 Ajanta caves that are situated here. Now, these Ajanta caves they contain world renowned Buddhist fresco paintings, and also, in terms of the sculptures that are found here in the Ajanta range, they range from 1st century BC, from 1st century BC to 7th century AD. So over the course of around 750 to 800 years, there are the sculptures that have been made, upgraded in the Ajanta range. Then, further moving on. Further moving on. Now, guys, after this, we are going to next move towards the direction of the east, and in east we have the Udaygiri range. Now, Udaygiri range again happens to be very important because of the Buddhist caves that are found here. And within the Udaygiri, there is Udaygiri and Khandagiri caves. Now, these particular caves, it has collection of both. There are some caves which are natural, and some caves are artificial, that is man made. Some of the caves are artificial, that is man made. Okay, now when we talk about Udaygiri, it has 18 caves, and Khandagiri it has 15 caves. So some of the caves which are man made, they are as old as 2nd century BC, and these particular caves they contain Buddhist vihars. They contains many of the Buddhist stupas, very beautiful stupas. And Rani Gumfa is the most important and popular cave in Udaygiri. Okay, so again, just you can see the location of Udaygiri. Udaygiri are just located onto the eastern coast of India. And just below the Udaigiri, here we have the Mahendragiri. Now, Mahendragiri is not a range, it is a mountain peak. And Mahendragiri happens to be the one of a high peak of Eastern Ghats, 1501 meter. Now, one important fact I want to tell you guys here, that often when a question comes that which is the highest peak of Eastern Ghats, many places we see that it is Mahendragiri that is written as highest peak, but no, not Mahendragiri, it is the Jindagada. Now, Jindagada, it has a height of 1690 meter, which is clearly more than the Mahendragiri. And this Jindagada peak, it happens to be the highest peak of entire Eastern Ghats. Okay, now moving on, guys. So, as we are talking about Eastern Ghats, now certain thing I would like to tell you about the Eastern Ghats. Now, when we talk about Eastern Ghats, understand this particular thing, that Eastern Ghats are not a regular mountain series as the Western Ghats are there on the west coast of India. Eastern Ghat is a series of many mountain and hill ranges which are broken. And here, if you see, we have many such kind of a ranges here which combinedly make the Eastern Ghats. Which combinedly make the Eastern Ghats. I will be coming on all of them in just a while. Okay. Now, if we see here, just south of the Udaigiri, we have Armakonda range, also called as the Araku range sometimes, or the Armakonda range. Now, when we talk about the Armakonda range, okay, now this particular range, just a minute. Now, this particular range, it lies on the border of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, and a beautiful Araku Valley, which happens to be an important tourist destination, is located here in the Aramakonda. And many of the tribals also live at this place, and often they face a poor lifestyle, and they are just they are sustaining on the basic levels of subsistence. Okay, so these are the major ranges. These are the major ranges in this particular pocket. Okay, now, for before going towards the Eastern Ghat, I will be covering the Western Ghats first. Western Ghats and the South India, and then we'll go towards the Eastern Ghats. Okay, now, first of all, guys, here you can see that we have Western Ghats here. Here you can see that we have the Western Ghats here. So when we talk about the Western Ghats, they begin from the south of Gujarat. They begin from the south of Gujarat and they run right till the Kerala, right till the Kerala. Now, first of all, when we talk about the Western Ghats, they are also often called by the name Sahyadris. Now, particularly in the Karnataka and the southern part of Maharashtra, they are called as Sahyadris, and they run for the length of 1500 plus kilometer. 1500 plus kilometer. Also, one more thing about this particular Western Ghat is that the highest peak of the Western Ghat is Anaimudi. The highest peak of the Western Ghat is Anaimudi. And also, Western Ghats, they have also been declared as UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO World Heritage Site. And also, they are recognized as hottest hotspot. They are recognized as the hottest hotspot because of the biological flora, fauna diversity that is found in the Western Ghats. Okay, now, as we talk about the Western Ghats, towards the southern end of the Western Ghats, there are some very important ranges that we have here. Very important ranges that we have here. And please be very careful while we are analyzing it. So, first we have Baba Budhan Hills. First, we have the Baba Budhan Hills. Now, when we talk about the Baba Budhan Hills, so these Baba Budhan Hills, they are the part of a Western Ghats, and they are very important for the minerals that are found here. And also, it is said that Baba Budhan introduced coffee in India. Okay, so there is also one more important fact with respect to this. So, with respect to coffee plantations, also they are very important, and manganese, limestone, chromite, they are very important minerals that are found here. And also, the highest peak of Baba Budan is Mulangiri. Mulangiri is the highest peak of Baba Budan, not the Western Ghats, Baba Budan. Also, there is a very important waterfall, which is sacred for both Hindus as well as Muslims. That is Manikya Dhara Falls. Manikya Dhara Falls. And in terms of the wildlife diversity that we have here. So here there is Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary, Bhadra Wildlife Sanctuary, okay, which is very important wildlife sanctuary owing to its diversity of wildlife that is found here. Okay, then if we go little bit down to Baba Budan Hill, here you can see in blue color, here you can see in blue color there is Kudremukh. So Kudremukh is the peak. Kudremukh is the peak, and literally the Kudremukh means like the face or like the mouth of a horse, like the mouth of a horse. It is located in Karnataka, and also it happens to be very important because of the important minerals, particularly the iron ore that is found here. And this Kudremukh, it is particularly important because many of the rivers have their origin here, and particularly three rivers, they have their origin here. I am writing it down, please note it down. Tunga tunga Bhadra, Tunga, Bhadra, and the third one is Netravati. Third one is Netravati. So these three rivers have origin here at the Kudremukh, and when we talk about the location of Kudremukh, it is on the south of the Baba Budan hill. Okay, then further we have here the Baba Budan. We have here Baba Budan. After Baba Budan, we have Kudremukh, and then we have Nilgiri Hills. We have Nilgiri Hills. Now, first of all, when we talk about Nilgiri, literally Nilgiri means blue mountain. When we talk about Nilgiri, first of all, these mountain ranges largely they lie in northwestern Tamil Nadu, and highest peak of Nilgiri is Doda Beta. Highest peak of Nilgiri is Doda Beta, and it also further. Now, if we talk about Nilgiris, if we talk about Nilgiris, you find this particular thing that there is a kind of a separation here in the north of the Nilgiris, and on the south also. Nilgiri is divided, is separated from the Palni Hills, from the Palni Hills that is here, and Annamalai Hills that is here. So in between, one very important geological feature lies. In between, very important geological feature lies here, that is Pal Ghat Gap. That is Pal Ghat Gap, or the Palakkad Gap, or the Palakkad Gap. Okay, I will show you it on the map. I will show you there also in the notes also, don't worry. Okay, so if we see the notes, so basically Nilgiri Hills, they are separated from Karnataka plateau in the north. In the north there is a Karnataka plateau. Also Nayar river is there in the north, and in the south it is separated by the Palghat Gap. It is separated by Palghat Gap from which two hill ranges? From Annamalai and Palni. From Annamalai and Palni. Again, I will show you on the map. Okay. Again, I will show you on the map. So please pay attention here. I am going to use the blue color pen. So here we have Nilgiri Hill. Okay. Fine. And on the south, we have the Palghat Gap. And after the Palghat Gap, we have the two important hill ranges, that is the Palni Hill that is here, and then the Annamalai Hill that is there. Is it clear or not? So understand that these particular locations you need to keep it in your mind, because sometimes in prelims examination they are asked. Now the next that we are going to cover is Palni Hills. Now first of all, when we talk about Palni Hills, they lie in south of Nilgiri Hills, and they are on the north of Annamalai Hills, north of Annamalai Hills. And also if you see this particular thing, here we can find that Palni Hills and Annamalai Hills, they are little bit adjoined, they are little bit connected with each other, and this happens to be a very important aspect of the Palni Hills. So Palni Hills, they are in the Tamil Nadu, and there they adjoin the Annamalai range, and subsequently they merge into the plains of Tamil Nadu. Now the highest peak in Palni is Vembadisha, and also it is the source of Samukta river. Now Samukta happens to be an important tributary of Kaveri. It happens to be tributary of Kaveri, which, and the Kaveri often has been called as the lifeline of the southern part of the India. Also Kodai Canal, which happens to be a very important hill station, it is also located in the Palni Hills. Okay, then the next two locations that we are going to cover is Annamalai and Cardamom. Is Annamalai and Cardamom. Here you can see the Annamalai and Cardamom Hills we have. Now, when we talk about, first of all, the Annamalai Hills, these hills, they are also called as the Elephanta Hills, and they are shared by Tamil Nadu and Kerala both. And you might be knowing about the Anaimudi, which happens to be the highest peak of the southern India. So, Anaimudi, this peak is shared by Annamalai as well as Cardamom both. So, here, if I just show you on the map here, if I just show you on the map here, so you can observe that Annamalai Hill and Cardamom Hill, they adjoin each other, and here on the transition we have the Anaimudi peak, which happens to be the highest peak of the South India. And also very important dams are also found here, fine, which have the hydroelectricity potential also. Then Cardamom Hills, so again the highest peak of Cardamom Hills as well as Annamalai both will be the Anaimudi, and Anaimudi is specifically located into the Eravi National Park. And this Eravi National Park is also located at the boundary. It is located at the boundary of Annamalai Hills and the Cardamom Hills. Now, as the name cardamom is given, so it is but obvious that the cardamom is an important production that is done here, and also along with the cardamom, tea is also grown. And in terms of forest, it has evergreen deciduous forest. Then moving on, after that, from here we will be moving towards the important hill ranges of the eastern ghat. I already told you that we don't have the continuous range towards the eastern ghat as we have towards the western ghat. So there are many broken ranges, fine mountains that are there, and they combinedly constitute the eastern ghat. So first of all that we are going to take here is the Chevo Hills. The first that we are going to take here is the Chevo Hills. Now, first of all, when we talk about Chevo Hills, so you can see that here the Chevo Hills lie here. Now, when we talk about the Chevo Hills, first of all, the name, it is the anglicized version. Original name was the Servarayan, which means a beautiful one. So, from the Servarayan, the name Chevo Hills have actually come. And basically the highest peak in this is Sannyasi Malai, and the main town that is located here is the Yarkud. Then after the Chevrolet Hills, the next peak the next hill range that comes here, it is the Javadi Hills. So if you see just on the north of the Chevrolet, we have Javadi Hills that happens to be an important one. Now when we talk about the Javadi, so first of all it is very important for the minerals that are found here, and both metallic as well as non-metallic minerals are found, and because of these particular minerals exploitation, a lot of deforestation also have happened, which has become a threat to environment as well as ecology. And one very important tourist destination that is there, it is the Kavallur Observatory, and then there are the Bhimandavavu waterfalls here. Then after that, we have seen the Chevrolet, we have seen the Javadi, and then the next important one is the Shesha Chalam. Now, when we talk about the Shesha Chalam, here you can see the Shesha Chalam. So Shesha Chalam is actually made up of the 7 hills, and these 7 hills are number one Seshadri, Niladri, Gaduadri, Anjanadri, okay, Vrishbhadri, then Narayanadri, and then Venkatadri. And a very important Hindu pilgrimage town, that is Tirupati, it is also located in the Sheshachalam Hills. And also these Sheshachalam Hills, they host the Sheshachalam Biosphere Reserve. Then the next range that we have is Velikonda and Palkonda. Next range that we have is the Velikonda and Palkonda. But before going in that, let me give you again an idea of north to south. So first we have Udaygiri. Now I covered Udaygiri in center, it was just for the sake of convenience, but they will be constituting the part of eastern ghat. So we have Udaygiri. After Udaygiri we have the Armakonda, Araku Valley, already we have seen. Okay, then we have the Nalla Malla range here. Then we have Vellikonda and Palkonda. Then we have Shesha Chalam. Then we have a small. Then we have the Nagari Hills, Javadi Hills, Chevro Hills. Okay, and then there is one Shirumalai also. Okay, guys, one more thing just I want to tell you that there are certain hill ranges that I have shown here only in the map. So understand this thing that every hill range in detail you need not to see. Some are the minor ones, only location if you understand, then that is more than sufficient. For example, Nagari, Shirumalai, etc. Just location you need to see, no need to go too much in detail because that is not possible. So we need to understand the relative importance that has also to be given. Okay, then further moving on, the next we have the Palkonda and Velikonda hills. Now, when we talk about the Palkonda and Velikonda, again they are the part of the Eastern Ghats, and these hill ranges are important because of the rich deposits of metallic and non-metallic minerals, and again because of this particular reason they also face the problem of deforestation that we have earlier seen exist into the Javadi hills. So the Javadi, Palkonda, Velikonda share the same problems. Then after that, the next hill range that we are going to see is the Nalla Malla range. It is the Nalla Malla range. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Nalla Malla hill, they are called as the Black Hills, and these hill ranges they run parallelly on the eastern coast of India from the north to the south. And again, one very important aspect of the Nalla Malla Hills is that they lie to the south of the Krishna River, which again happens to be one of the most important river of South India, and with rich deposits of minerals such as manganese, iron, mica, limestone are found. Also, many important building materials such as slate stone, etc., are also found here. Okay, and National Highway number 9 also passes. So, this is the importance of these particular hill ranges. Now, guys, with this, we come to an end to this particular session. And guys, I hope that you have liked this particular video, and actually it has taken so much of effort to prepare it. If you have liked, please do hit the like button, please do subscribe to the channel, and join the Telegram channel for the notes, and stay tuned for the next video that we will be coming. It will be released on Saturday. So thank you so much, guys.